Hello everyone! In today's teacher-facing video, we will be exploring how to conduct a math routine around fractions and mixed numbers. Let's take a look at slide 16. We'll be looking at an activity called Which One Doesn't Belong? Which One Doesn't Belong is a fun math routine to begin any lesson. I've done a lot of these with my students and they absolutely love them. You might want to try out one first with your class to get them used to the routine. You can go ahead and visit WODB for which one doesn't belong.ca for a more visual option first. So we can go ahead and take a look at that website. Again, it's WODB.ca. And if you go ahead and scroll down, you might want to start off with maybe a more visual one like shapes. And students will have to choose which one doesn't belong. For example, if we take a look here, students might say that the heart doesn't belong because it doesn't have any straight sides. While the rest of them have a bunch of straight sides, some might talk about angles. So they can go ahead and take a look at one of those first before you take a look at the one we're going to look at today. So again, we're going to go to slide 16 here. And for this math routine, students have to find one answer that doesn't belong and be able to justify their reasoning. You'll find that students will find reasons why each could not belong. I've recently completed one with my remote class, and we used Nearpod. And I was able to make this into a collaborative board where students share their reasoning live. Let's take a look how to do that. So in order to again be able to modify this, we need to make a copy. So I am going to go to File, Make a Copy. I'm just going to make a copy of the whole presentation, and I'll call this Unit 5, Day 30. I'm going to save it. Okay, so again, if you're doing this live with your kids, you're going to want to delete these slides. So on the left side bar, just delete all these teacher slides. You can always go back to TeachHub to view them. I'm just going to go ahead and delete those. Okay, and then I'm going to go down to the Which One Belongs slide, and I'm going to click on Add-ons, go to Nearpod, open up Nearpod. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take a quick little snapshot of this slide. So if you're on a Mac, it's Command-Shift-4 at the same time. And if you're not on a Mac, you're going to need to use the snipping tool. So if you haven't used the snipping tool before, you can use the little the computer search browser and just type in snipping tool and tell you how to access the snipping tool, which is a little scissor where you can cut an image. So now that we've taken the image, it's gone directly to my desktop. So I'm just going to click on Collaborative Board here in Nearpod. And I'm going to press this little icon so that I can drag in my little picture here. Okay, I'm going to save, and then I'm going to write here which one doesn't belong. And then I'm going to write which one doesn't belong. Explain your choice. Okay, I'm going to go with the cork board. I like the cork board. And I'm going to press save. And we're just going to wait for it to show up before we move on. Okay, there it is. So students are going to be looking at it as a collaborative board. So again, it'll allow you, once you're doing this again, once you're done making the slides interactive, just remember to press save and go to Nearpod. You'll share that link with students, and students will be able to do this live with you, and all the students will be able to see each other's answers. So it's a great way to interact with your class doing this which one doesn't belong. And again, if you're doing this live, you might enjoy using this feature. I would suggest having them do slide 16 and then which is slide A here. And slide B, I would suggest that you just have students respond to it verbally. If you are assigning it for students to do during asynchronous time, I would recommend you assign both the slides A and B for students to do directly on the Nearpod slides. Now, let's take a look at what students might say. So I'm going to go back here to slide A. So students might say that A doesn't belong because it's the only one that has words, right? It has the word sixths in it. If we take a look at B, students might say it doesn't belong because it's the only one that's written as a mixed number. For C, students might say it doesn't belong because it's the only one that's a numerical expression. They also might say it doesn't belong because it's the only one with two fractions. As for D, students might say that it doesn't belong because it's the only one with a numerator of 11. Others might say that it doesn't belong because it's the only one that is less than a whole. And you can view some more sample answers on slide 3 in TeachHub. So if I go back here, if you take a look here at slide 3, it'll give you some possible responses that students might give you. And if you find your students enjoy which one doesn't belong, make sure to visit that site at wodb.ca for more. This will complete today's video on conducting a Which One Doesn't Belong math talk. See you next time.